Hug. Where's Hug? Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance for opening remarks by Councilmember Amy Melton.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everyone, please be seated. I first want to take the opportunity to wish Councilwoman Goodwin a very happy birthday, a day or two late, but happy birthday. And also, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so I just wanted to, especially in the last week, where we've had an uptick in some very serious domestic violence calls in our community, I want to thank all of the people that actually reach out and attempt to help prevent domestic violence in our community. All the way from the people that work at the Women's Center for Advancement, at the hotline, all of the volunteer lawyers that will help and go to protection orders for women who are facing domestic violence, for our prosecutors in the county attorney's office who help fight for the victims, the victim witness unit, and especially our law enforcement. Domestic violence calls are the most dangerous calls any of our first responders can go to. And we saw that just this past week, where some of our officers were shot at in a domestic violence call, actually in my district. So I want to thank law enforcement for always being willing to step in and take the bullet. That's very important. But if you know anyone that is facing domestic violence, I just want you to know that the Women's Center for Advancement, they are local. They will help somebody with a safety plan. They will help them with counseling, and they will help them deal with all of the issues that come along with being in a domestic violence relationship. That hotline number, 402-345-7273, or just go to wcaomaha.org. And a special thanks to the Women's Center for Advancement and everybody that works there for their help in doing what needs to be done in our city. And God bless everybody that's helping domestic violence, especially our law enforcement. So thank you.
Thank you.
An affidavit of publication is on file, and a current copy of the Open Meeting Act is posted in a white binder on the east wall of legislative chambers.
Good afternoon. Welcome to this meeting of the Omaha City Council. As a courtesy to those in attendance and to facilitate the conduct of our business, we ask at this time that you please silence your phones and all electronic devices. A reminder, you will have 3 minutes to speak on an agenda item. Please stay on topic. If you would like your comments entered into the public record, you can also email the city clerk's office at cityclerk@cityofomaha.org. The council members, we receive these and we read them. Finally, council members may ask members of the audience back up for clarifying questions, but not for extra time to speak. I would like to remind council members to speak directly into their microphones so the audience members in attendance and at home can hear. And also those that come up to speak at the podium, have that microphone up to you so everybody can hear you, please. Thank you.
Item 6, to consider a Class C liquor license for BBQ Kitchen located at 1028 South 74th Plaza.
I will open the public hearing on item number 6. Do we have them by Zoom? I can hear you. Name and address, please.
BBQ Chicken, 1028 South 74th Plaza, Omaha, Nebraska, 68114.
Thank you. Are there any proponents here today? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug.
Yes.
Melton.
Yes.
Rowe. Festerson.
Yes.
Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 7, to consider a Class C liquor license for Oto Listening Bar located at 1917 South 67th Street, Suite 140.
Public hearing on item number 7 is now open. For the proponent, applicant.
Good afternoon, President and Council. My name is Sam Noddle. I'm here to speak on behalf of JSA Sound. My office is 1501 Mike Fahey in the Builders District.
Thank you. Are there any proponents here today? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Thank you.
Got a motion and a second. Sam, couple questions for you, please. What are your hours going to be, and just kind of tell us what kind of bar you're going to have there?
It is a classic cocktail bar in Exarban Village, all built around the optimal sound experience. So we'll have a record library in there. We plan to be open 6 days a week, closed on Monday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the evening on weekends.
Okay, wish you the best of luck. Thanks.
Thank you,
We had
sir.
a motion and a second, I believe, correct? No further lights, roll call.
Harding. Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 8, to consider a Class C liquor license for Schumann's Liquor and More located at 3737 Farnham Street, Suite 112.
Public hearing is now open on item number 8. Applicant here, Mr. Houghton, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, members of the council. Happy birthday, Councilwoman Goodwin. I'm here today, my address is 2804 South 87th Avenue. My name is David Houghton. I'm here today on behalf of Schumann's, doing business as Schumann's Liquor and More for their Class C liquor license. That business is located at 3737 Farnham Street, Suite 112. This is a new application. The applicant, Mr. Schumann, has been in the liquor business and bar industry for several years, running many of the adjacent bars in the immediate area, and has a lot of experience in these businesses. If you have any question, the idea of the liquor store is to be an upscale establishment selling foreign beverages, large, hard-to-get beers and wines and things of that nature. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. The applicant is here as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any proponents here today on item number 8? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. I got a couple questions for you, David.
Of course.
So you describe it as like a upscale kind of sales of liquor and wine. Is that kind of what you're going to be doing here?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. Are they going to sell individual shooters or cans?
Their intent is not to sell individual shooters. They would like the right to sell package shooters for someone that wants to take them home to a party or something like that, but do not want to sell any individual shooters. They do want to sell single malt beverages to the extent they're like. These are $10 to $30 singles for rare beers, like the 750 of some foreign or domestic micropub type beer, not necessarily the natural lighter 40-ounce drink that you would get
Okay,
at other typical stores.
okay, what are your hours of operation looking like to
It'd
be?
be 10 to 10 on the weekdays and 10 to 11 on the weekends.
Okay. This is in my district. I'll be supportive of this, but I can't make a motion for it, but got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 9, to consider a Class C liquor license for Fifth House located at 3901 Farnham Street, Suite B.
Public hearing is now open on item number 9. Is the applicant here today?
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. David Houghton, 2804 South 87th Avenue, here today on behalf of Fifth House LLC, doing business as Fifth House, which is located at 3901 Farnham Street, Suite B, for their Class C liquor license. The concept of Fifth House is a new vegan concept in Omaha, and they would just like a typical Class C liquor license to sell alcohol as an amenity, beer and wine, and alcoholic spirits with their food. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Is there any other proponents here today on item number 9? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Got a motion and do we get a second? Thank you. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 10, to consider a Class C liquor license for Varsity Sports Cafe and Roman Coin Pizza located at 9735 Q Street.
Public hearing on item number 10 is now open. Is the applicant on Zoom?
I'm here.
Hi, can we get your name and address, please?
Chris Lohmeyer, 1048 Julesburg Drive, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Thank you. Is there any proponents here today for item number 10? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 11, to consider a Class C liquor license for the Perry Grind Hotel located at 203 South 18th Street.
I'll open the public hearing on item number 11. The applicant here, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Mihir Bhatt. I am here on behalf of Kinshasa Hospitality, and the address is 203 South 18th Street, Omaha 68102.
Thank you. Is there any other proponents here today? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 12, to consider a Class D liquor license for Quick and Friendly located at 8410 Q Street.
Public hearing is now open on item number 12. Is the applicant on Zoom? Right on the ball. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Can we get your name and address, please?
Crochet person of 8410 Q Street, Omaha, Nebraska, 68127.
Thank you. Are there any proponents here today? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Motion is second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 13.
Thank you.
Item 13, to consider a Class C liquor license for Bushwood Lounge located at 711 North 114th Street.
The public hearing is now open on item number 13. Is the applicant on Zoom? Can we get your name and address, please?
Mike McQueen, the address is 711 North 114th Street, Omaha, Nebraska.
Thank you. Are there any proponents here today on item number 13? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 14, to consider an addition application to add an outdoor area to the Class C liquor license for Sips on 10th, located at 1022 South 10th Street. Needs communication and support.
Good afternoon, Jacqueline Oltmans, 541 South 52nd Street, 68106.
Thank you. Is there any other proponents here on item number 14? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. I got a couple of questions, Jacqueline. Good to see you again.
You too.
I know you guys have put a lot of work into that, and your brother and I and you spoke,
Yeah.
seemed like maybe a year ago on this. And tell us just kind of what you're doing here with the addition you got going on the north
Yeah, so
side.
we just put a green space kind of out. We're trying to increase the outside area, downtown Little Italy area. So just a place to do some yard games, a place for, we have a lot of wedding rehearsal dinners, some wedding receptions. They like to go out there, take pictures. So we'd just like to increase our liquor license to that area.
Okay, and does anybody, I'm just curious, ever take a little putt-putt thing out there and golf on that out
We
there?
can make it happen.
Pretty cool.
It's for you.
Okay.
Yep.
And I got to share a funny story. I went to a birthday party, my cousin, and I wandered into Sips because I thought that's where it was, and it was 2 doors north of. So I can tell you, I've been in there before. It's a great venue, and I wish you the best of luck. I'll
Thank you.
certainly be supportive of this today. Can I motion as second? Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Items 15 through 18 can be considered together for West Omaha Replat 8, located southwest of 38th Avenue and Dewey Avenue. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval. Item 15, an ordinance to rezone this property from R6 District and R7 District to R7 District. Item 16 and 17 are resolutions to approve the preliminary plat and final plat. Item 18, a resolution to approve the subdivision agreement.
I will open the public hearing for items numbers 15 through 18. The applicant is here. Good afternoon.
Luke Weatherly Olson, 2111 South 67th Street, here on behalf of UNMC and Nebraska Medicine for cases 15 through 18, as well as the next ones.
Thank you. Are there any proponents here? Seeing none, are there any opponents?
Larry Storr, 5015 Lafayette Avenue, Omaha 68132. That's an area of town I lived in and worked as a custodian in one of the basement apartments at 38th and Dewey. I'm against the expansion of the university because it actually took some very nice buildings that could have been historic buildings, could have been very affordable housing for a lot of students. But we need to give things away to the university, which is now a bigger campus here in Omaha than in a town that I grew up in. And that's all tax-free to them. There's a lot of very historic, nice, old, classic buildings in that area that have been taken over by the university. And of course, they're not paying any property taxes, are they? Who is paying for all that? They haven't demolished everything, just the six or eight units that were there on the south side of Dewey Avenue facing the Red Cross building. Of course, it was all cut and dried before anybody knew anything about it. And all of a sudden it was gone. But again, you complain about a lack of affordable housing, you demolished a bunch that could have been very nice. Students get to live in it, maybe not for free, but they're paying the university. The university is making money on that. It's about time to tell the university to start paying some taxes, isn't it? Or are you going to raise the property taxes on everybody else that has not sold out yet? Is that how it works? Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other opponents here?
Yes, sir. Omaha City Council, Donnie R. Johnson, the Johnson City Question Foundation, and North Omaha Concerned Citizen Foundation. You guys know that Mike, I was on City Council, he helped do this. Anyway, back to the university. I talked to the chancellor the other day, and I gave him the wrong information about
Donnie, can we get your address for the record,
4928 North 52nd Street. And I did talk to those folks in Houston, and they are letting senior citizens get on the space shuttle, but that's okay. In the meantime, I talked to the chancellor's office. They want to continue moving forward with the International Law School. I said it's an excellent idea. So we are looking at that program. So I think Larry might be a little bit misled because they are looking at opening an International Law School. And Creighton has a law school. Lincoln has a law school. But I think since I'm an alumni at UNO, we'll put the International Law School over there. So when I go to France again, and maybe I'll let me leave. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other opponents for items 15 through 18 here? Seeing none, public hearing is closed. I'm sorry, Councilmember Melton, you're recognized.
This is for planning. I just want to make sure we clarify for the record. Is the city of Omaha giving anything away here, or is this simply zoning? You should be good. Oh. Keeps beeping. It's blinking. There, now it's on.
you want to come down here, Eric? Maybe.
Eric England, Planning Department. Sorry for the technology snafu there. Yeah, this is a plating and a rezoning. Of course, the applicant can get into more of the details, but this is for student housing for their enterprise, so this is strictly a zoning matter. There are no incentives being provided for the city for this project.
Right, the city didn't own any of the land, we're not giving anything away. This is simply, they're doing student housing for students that are attending UNMC.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to make that clarified on the record. Appreciate it. I think that's great. I love that students are, that we have students that are going to school here and getting their education, and hopefully with the great education that they're receiving at UNMC, they'll stay here as well. So I'm glad we can help provide the zoning to provide the housing. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks for making those points. It is my son-in-law is a med student at UNMC, and my two nephews were as well. And I know firsthand about the need for housing for students, so I'll be very supportive of this today. Roll call. I'm sorry. All right, I thought you did. Get a motion and a second, please. No further lights. Roll call.
Harding. Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Items 19 through 23 can be considered together for Big Briggs Place, replat 14, located southwest of 41st and Farnham Streets. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval. Items 19 and 20, ordinances to rezone this property from GO District and GC District to GO District and TOD2 MX District. Item 21, an ordinance to rescind the ACI overlay district for this property. Item 22, a resolution to approve the final plat. Item 23, a resolution to approve the subdivision agreement.
The public hearing is now open for items number 19 through 23. The applicant, good afternoon again.
I'm back. Luke Weatherly with Olson, 2111 South 67th Street, 68106, here on behalf of Nebraska Medicine on this project. And I'd just like to say it's taken quite a long time to get here today on this one, and appreciate all the effort that planning and public works have gone into, and even the city council on these issues. So happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Thank you. Are there any proponents here? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Councilmember Festerson, you're recognized.
Thanks, Mr. President. Just one quick question for you. Right in this immediate vicinity, and also a little bit later on the agenda, is a street vacation that pertains to my question. The S-curve everyone's familiar with, as you're coming east on Farm, which turns into Harney right there, is being vacated and has been demolished. It's been an oddity for a long time in the city.
Yep.
Are you able to say what will happen there and what you expect to see?
Yeah, so 42nd and Farnham Street itself will become a traditional T intersection. The intent is we went through a full traffic study through the plating process, and coming out of that, we heard that the desires from city public works and city traffic were to have the two-way section continue that is currently going through Blackstone as a twiddle or two-way left turn lane. Center lane is the left turn lane, and then a single lane in each direction that will be consistent through 42nd Street. As you go to the westbound and eastbound, as you shift to the east, that S-curve will remain intact, or actually we're reconstructing it on 41st Street as more of a slip lane. It won't feel as drastic. In the existing conditions, it was pretty drastic and sharp and steep as you went up the hill. This is going to smooth that out and still allow for one-way traffic on Harney Street continuing to the east through Blackstone.
Okay, so it remains if you're heading east, just in a more graceful fashion.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Items 24 through 26 can be considered together for property located northwest of Hamilton Street, Military Avenue. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval. Item 24, an ordinance to rezone this property from GI District to CC District. Item 25, an ordinance to amend the boundaries of the ACI District to incorporate this property into that district. Item 26, an ordinance to approve a PUR overlay district and to approve the development plan.
Public hearing for items 24 through 26 is now open. Is the applicant here today? Good afternoon.
Hello. Mark Detlefs with Earhart Griffin Associates, 3552 Farnham Street, here to answer any questions on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you. Are there any proponents here today? Seeing none, are there any proponents? Oh, sorry. Are there any opponents here today for 24 through 26? Public hearing is closed. Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 27, a resolution to approve a special use permit to allow automotive sales in the CC District located northwest of Skyline Drive and West Dodge Road. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval.
Public hearing is now open on item number 27. Good afternoon, Mr. Boozer.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, council members. Jim Bouger, 10250 Regency Circle, here on behalf of the applicant and would be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any proponents here today? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 28, a resolution to approve the 26 and Corby tax increment financing redevelopment project plan located southeast of 26 and Corby Streets in an amount up to $884,851.
Public hearing is now open on item number 28. Mr.
Good
Seaton.
afternoon, Don Seaton, Omaha City Planning. This project is a residential infill redevelopment project in North Omaha, located southeast of 26th and Corby. Parcels are all vacant. Habitat for Humanity will construct 27 for-sale affordable housing units. The total investment in the neighborhood is over $7 million. They're asking for $884,851 in TIF support. It's good to see infill housing in North Omaha, and this is in compliance with the city's master plan. We ask for your approval.
Thank you. Are there any proponents here on item 28? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Council Member Goodwin, you're recognized.
President, if we could have Don come back to the stand, please. I always just like to take an opportunity to talk about what TIF is and isn't for a moment, and how, in a nutshell, not to get into the deep weeds of it, but is this taxpayer dollars, and is the city giving this development any money?
No, there's no city money involved. The TIF funds for this project, the $884,000, they don't exist right now. They won't exist until the property is built, tax bills go out, and Habitat pays, or the new buyers pay, the tax bill on that property. Because it's those tax dollars that become the TIF dollars that go into the project. So TIF money doesn't even exist right now, and it'll be paid by the property owner. Doesn't go from city funds, doesn't come from the neighbors.
Thank you for that. Motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Consent agenda. Any member of the City Council may cause any item placed on the consent agenda to be removed. Items removed from the consent agenda shall be taken up by the City Council immediately following the consent agenda in the order in which they were removed, unless otherwise provided by the City Council Rules of Order.
The public hearing on agenda items 29 through 38 were held on October 7, 2025. Is there any council discussion? Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0.
The public hearings on agenda items 39 through 60 are today. If you wish to address the City Council regarding these items, please come to the microphone, indicate the agenda number you wish to address, identify yourself by your name, address, who you represent, and if you're a proponent or opponent. I will open the public hearing. Are there any proponents? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Larry Store, 5015 Lafayette Avenue, Omaha 68132. I recently ran across some news stories about Dearborn, Michigan. So I am opposed to number 60. This nomination. Because I don't think we know enough about the difference between the Islamic religion and the Christian religion, which our country is based on. Dearborn, Michigan has been taken over pretty much by Islamic personalities, most of their city council, etc.
The appointment.
And they practice Sharia law, which is a different law than our own. That needs to be discussed in this country because there is a difference. We have an Islamic center right there on Northwest Radio Highway. This gentleman is no doubt a very good person, probably. But if he practices the tenets of Sharia law, which they're allowed to, not admit it if you know anything about it, they can be very secret and not necessarily good for our country. There is that center, and they get property tax exemptions, and I don't think that's proper. It needs to be discussed because it is a different philosophy. They do not honor our Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other opponents here?
Good afternoon, Omaha City Council. Donnie R. Johnson, the Johnson Equestrian Foundation, and North Omaha Concerned Citizen Foundation, 4928 North 52nd Street. And number 56, I think the International Law School at UNO will be very helpful to number 56 with the China Awareness Center. But I did make a mistake at the University of Nebraska of Omaha the other day when I talked to the Chancellor's office. I told him to call Mr. Brinken Harding since he was running for Congress, but that's Mr. Begley district. And if they call Mr. Harding, refer him back to Mr. Begley because he said he believed in international law school as well.
Don't remember that conversation, but thank you. Is there any other opponents here? Public hearing is closed. Councilmember Goodwin, you are recognized.
Thank you, Councilmember or President Begley, Councilmember Begley. I just wanted to make a statement that I'm a very strong Christian in my faith, but this council in this public forum is no place to express xenophobic comments. And our Constitution does, outline freedom of religion. So I just thought that it was necessary to say that at this moment based on the comments that were previously said. Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't close the public hearing, correct? Okay. Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 61, an ordinance to transfer a permanent easement and land to Omaha's Public Power District located near 102nd and West Maple Street.
Council discussion. Can we get a motion? Motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding. Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Abstain.
Motion passed 6-0. Bagley abstains. Item 62, an ordinance to add sections to Chapter 20 of the Omaha Municipal Code entitled Unauthorized Encampments on Public Property to provide for rules and regulations for addressing unauthorized encampments on public property. A is communications and support, B is communications and opposition, and C is an amendment of the whole requested by Councilmember Harding.
Council discussion. Councilmember Harding, you're recognized.
Make a motion to move C, the amendment of the whole.
Got a motion and a second. So we vote on this first. Okay, yeah. Councilmember Festerson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think I made my position on this ordinance very clear a few weeks ago. And the amendment of the whole hasn't changed my opinion as to what the impact would be here. I think we are trying to address what is a challenging issue in our community, but I think the end result of what we have here would be the criminalization of homelessness. And I don't think that's what we're trying to accomplish here. We're trying to accomplish a solution to a challenge we're all experiencing. I think that's very clear from the letters we've received from the public defender, who we honored here a few weeks ago with 50 years of experience in these kind of situations, that what's being proposed here just won't work for this population. I think a better approach is to allow the mayor some time to address a plan he has put together and announced. He is listening to us. He understands our frustration on this issue, and that those in need and those in crisis need to receive best practices and services much more quickly than they are now. And they also have committed to address problem areas we know we all have in our districts that accumulate litter or encampments and get them cleared off much more quickly. So I think that's a much better approach and one we should give a chance to work. So I will not be supporting this amendment of the whole or this ordinance today. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Melton, you're recognized.
Thank you. Well, and I want to be clear, this ordinance, especially as amended, it does not criminalize homelessness. Our goal is not to penalize individuals for their circumstances, but it addresses the complex issues that arise from encampments on public lands for the safety of the people that live around the encampments. That's what this does. The new amended ordinance that I support is designed to be a pathway to help, not a punishment. That's what diversion is all about. We aren't criminalizing it, we're dismissing it. The diversion program allows our police department to issue a citation, not take them to jail. It allows the city prosecutor to offer the diversion program, and this diversion program works directly with our dedicated homeless service providers to actually connect the individuals who are in encampments with the support that they need. This includes access to transitional housing and other essential services. I firmly believe that everyone deserves a safe and stable place to live, and this program is a step forward to achieving that and helping the most vulnerable in our community, the citizens in the encampments. It's getting them the help that they need through a diversion program. It's important to acknowledge that there must be some consequences for those who repeatedly refuse to engage with the services that are available to them. It's also, they're creating problematic living situations that impact others in our community. It impacts children who are playing in parks. It impacts mothers who are living next to the encampments and their kids can't even go out to play. So it's not making homelessness illegal. It's saying you can't have encampments next to where kids are playing. You can't have encampments on our public property. That's what this is doing. And I think combining it with a diversion program, which, by the way, our problem-solving courts have helped, at this point, thousands of people. That's what this is. This is the diversion program. That's what these courts do. They've helped veterans get homes through the Veterans Court. Through our drug court, we have helped hundreds, if not thousands, get the treatment they need to get off drugs, to get housing, to get jobs. I would encourage all of you who are sitting here to actually attend some of the alternative courts that we have available here in Douglas County that have been fabulous, in addition to our mental health diversion program as well. We're not making mental health, we're not criminalizing mental health, yet we're offering a diversion program that is helping those with mental health issues get the help that they need. That's what we're doing with all of those alternative courts that we have over in Douglas County. So we aren't being a veteran criminal. We're saying we want to help those veterans, and that's exactly what those alternative courts do. And so I think that this is a fabulous compromise, I think, between and actually helps those that are living with the encampments, but also help those that are in the encampments. I think this is exactly what this community needs to do, because it's showing heart, it's showing sympathy for everyone involved, everyone, including the kids. And it's working with all the fabulous organizations that we heard from that are running programs to help the homeless.
that diversion program, having our city prosecutor actually put them in touch and saying there won't be any consequences if you get the help, giving a little incentive to those who are homeless, I think is a good thing, and that's what this does. So, Councilman Harding, I really appreciate the amended ordinance coming around and doing the diversion program so there's just a citation. Police are not coming and taking people to jail for being in the encampments. It's a citation and then a contact, putting them in contact. And I really appreciate the fact that our city prosecutor, Kevin Slimp, immediately said, I will do it. I will figure out how to do it. I can put it under the mental health diversion program at this time, but then work on getting a separate diversion program specifically addressing the homeless, like he's done for people who are on drugs, like he's done for people who have mental health issues, like he's done for veterans. So I think this would have been just fabulous to add to the alternative court system. And I applaud what you're doing and applaud wanting to help everyone and not just focusing just on the homeless, but those that the homeless are affecting. I think that's how our community grows. And by the way, that's what they've been doing all over, including in San Francisco, the West Coast, Portland, where they've had the encampments continue to grow and grow. And so I like that we're trying to get on top of it now and help everyone involved in a very sympathetic and humane way. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank our city prosecutor for his willingness to do that. So that's why I will be supporting this.
Thank you. Councilmember Rowe, you're recognized.
Thank you, sir. This is probably the most complicated issue that we've had to deal with in my mind. It's a difficult situation. It's a difficult thing to get our minds wrapped around, knowing that this issue is not new. This issue goes back thousands of years. For thousands of years, society has been trying to figure out how to help those that are less fortunate, that are having issues. And I'm having a hard time getting to a yes. I've had conversation with Mr. Harding. He knows that. And but I too, like Amy, and am so appreciative that we've had the conversation, because it has allowed the community, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, it's allowed and actually forced the community to have difficult conversations that need to be taking place, and they have been taking place. I guess the biggest issue that I have is I'm not sure that this ordinance really solves the problem. If we issue a citation, or if we send a person to jail overnight, and I know that's not our intent. We don't want people to go to jail. That's certainly not the intent. But even if we did, we haven't really solved the problem. They're back on the street the next day. They might be a block away or a mile away, but we haven't solved the problem. So in my mind, I would like us to really put our energy and our resources behind Jason's plan, where he brought the coalition of the providers, Open Door Mission and Stevens Center, and the other providers that are willing to do the work. And I was hoping Jason would be here today, because in Mr. Harding's ordinance, it's a 24-hour time frame, and that's one of the issues that I have. Our current system takes up to 3 or 4 weeks, and they just languish out there. And last summer I don't know if I need to go into all the details, but there was a couple in my district that I called. I was concerned about. It was 110 heat index, and this couple was sitting out on the middle of a park bench, and it took weeks to get a response to get them to a place where they could get out of the direct sun. And I was hoping Jason would be here so I could just reiterate to him the importance, in my mind, that a sense of urgency is required. Now, he said 24 hours was a deal breaker, and I get that. But 3 weeks is a deal breaker for me. We cannot continue the way we've been going. And so if we could get it to 3 or 4 days was my hope. Jason said that 7 to 10, but if we could get to 3 to 4, because these people are hurting, they're making bad decisions, And many of them don't know that they're making bad decisions, and there are serious consequences. Today, a bad decision that results in a person living on the streets is tolerable. You know, it's warm in the daytime and it's cool at night, and we can live with that. In 6 weeks, it's going to be colder during the day and probably intolerable at night. In 3 months, it's going to be intolerable during the day and dire at night. And so we have to have a sense of urgency. We have to have a response time that's much quicker and a much better plan. And so in my view, I'd like to give those guys a chance. And I want to talk to Jason and his team about accountability and about reporting back to us, you know, what are the results, and give them 3 months or give them 6 months and come back and say, okay, we've made this kind of improvement. And if we haven't, then we've got to try something different. We've got to try something else. It is a complicated, difficult topic. But I think we can find solutions. I know we can find solutions. As I said, I'm having a hard time getting to a yes, and I'll probably be voting no when it comes. We have to make a vote. Unfortunately, we have to make a vote, and that's probably where I'm going to go. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Goodwin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Do we have a representative from the mayor's office here today to tell us more about the pilot program? Really to refresh our memory, I think is a better way of saying it. See Mr. Warren coming. I think it's important to know that there's an urgency among this council. I think one thing we can all agree on is we know we need to tackle this problem. I know even since this ordinance has been brought to the forefront, I've seen movement with the homeless coordinator. I've seen encampments removed. I've toured the Sienna Francis house. And so I want the public to know that this council, I think I can speak for all of us in this, we take this issue seriously and we know something needs to be done. But Mr. Warren, can you refresh our memory on the points that the mayor is working with along with the coordination of the various organizations that are responsible for addressing this issue in our community?
Yes, members of the City Council, Mr. President, Councilmember Goodwin, Thomas Warren, Mayor's Office. I do have a statement on behalf of the mayor, and then I'll get to the specific points in the plan. And this is on behalf of Mayor John Ewing. He recognizes that the encampments are not good for those who are homeless, as well as those residents who are impacted by the encampments. The mayor does appreciate the efforts that are being made here to divert those living in the encampments through the process outlined in the amended ordinance. However, due to the nature of the ordinance itself, even with the diversion program, he does feel that it will criminalize homelessness, and this is something that he fundamentally disagrees with. The mayor believes that the best way to address this very real public safety issue of encampments is with a comprehensive approach to connecting those people who are unsheltered and unhoused to services more quickly and effectively. And such an approach was explained last month during a public hearing by Threshold, the Continuum of Care, those representing the Sienna Francis House, Yes, and the Stevens Center, et cetera, in which they're asking for 30 days to plan and a 6-month pilot program, which Threshold, along with the city, would more quickly and more efficiently move people living unsheltered into safe, decent, and affordable housing. So we've been in consultation, the mayor and myself, Chief Smoderer, because we feel that putting the police on the front end of this problem will actually create other problems and not solve the issue. The fact is that even with the citation, it will result in a physical arrest. according to the Omaha Police Department policy, in order to issue a criminal citation, individual needs a permanent address. Absent a permanent address, if the individual didn't show up for court or at some point later would have a warrant issued, the sheriff wouldn't even have an address to serve the warrant. And so the policy requires that in order to issue a criminal citation, the individual would need a permanent address. If the individual was taken into custody and detained at the Douglas County Correctional Center, the City of Omaha would then be responsible for that per diem. We would assume the additional cost of incarceration for those individuals until the next court date, or if they were sentenced to 30 days in jail, that would be at the expense of the City of Omaha. Then, of course, the demands on police services once an individual was arrested. That property then becomes evidence. The ordinance would require the property be stored up to 30 days. That means that those officers would be required to confiscate the property, store the property, whether it be at the tow lot or some storage facility for an extended period of time until the case was either adjudicated or that 30 days elapsed. That would tax already staff that is stretched rather thin. And then, of course, it would make it more difficult for those individuals that need help and assistance from receiving the services that they need. And so for these reasons, the mayor is fundamentally opposed to this ordinance. Now, with respect to what is being proposed, and we heard the comment about there being some urgency to addressing these matters, there is an assessment when the homeless coordinator and outreach personnel actually go to these encampments. They assess the urgency of having the encampments removed. Right now, what is being proposed is that a notice would be issued that individual would be advised that they would have up to 7 to 10 days to remove the items of the encampment, and appropriate city departments and outreach programs will be notified. We have received a commitment from the service provider community. As mentioned, it was a very comprehensive, collaborative approach. We had over 80 individuals come and testify at the public hearing, many of whom committed to participating in this effort. And so we do have the commitment from the outreach community and the service providers. And again, it would be 7 to 10 days that individuals would be notified before the encampments would be removed. And while at the same time, residents would be engaged during that period of time, so it would be communicated to them what the expectations are as we try to connect individuals to services or housing or shelter. And the outreach community would expand their hours of service, including on-call and weekend coverage. So as has been mentioned, there was to be a 30-day planning period. The community of care were to draft policies and procedures for the pilot, and then a 6-month pilot period would occur, during which time no encampment ordinance would be considered until the results were reported. And so we are asking for 6 months to administer this pilot program. Again, it is our opinion that this proposed ordinance would criminalize homelessness, and quite frankly, the criminal citation would lead to a physical arrest.
Thank you, Mr. Warren.
Prepared to answer any questions you may have.
I just had one more question. I know talking among my colleagues, a few of us talked about potentially maybe a midway check-in point within the 6 months. Do you think that's something that'd be reasonable internally, where we could just see how the pilot program is going?
Oh, absolutely. Whether it be 30 days, 3 months, on a monthly basis, I think it would be appropriate to provide the data updating you on the status of the pilot program.
Absolutely. We appreciate the thoroughness of your, reiterating the plan, that there's coordination, that there's a consideration for all factors. I did hear one of my colleagues say that they're still figuring some things out with the proposed ordinance. So I appreciate the detail provided here today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Councilmember Festerson, you're recognized.
Thanks, Mr. President, and thanks, Mr. Warren, for that update too. I think you did a nice job of explaining why what we have before us here is impractical in terms of its enforcement, but then also the update and the commitment to expedite services and clearing of encampments that I think we're all looking for and that the mayor's committed to. I just wanted to take one more minute to maybe expand a little bit upon my comments I made earlier about diversion, and although that is a desirable thing, why I don't think it works in this case and for this population. And I'm not going to use my own words. I'll use the words of the public defender who I referenced earlier in his letter to us that I think are very convincing and very matter of fact with his 50 years of experience in the criminal justice system. So I'll just read a couple of things here from that letter. If an individual receives a citation, the citation will include a court date for that person to appear for arraignment. He suspects that a significant number will fail to appear to that arraignment, which will result in a warrant being issued for their arrest and possibly additional charge of failure to appear, which carries the possibility of additional jail sentence. Obviously, if a cash bond is required, the accused will likely not have the funds to post bond and remain in jail until that case is resolved. In cases where the accused is not in jail, he also sees a significant problem for his staff to contact the individual, as they likely have no cell phone, email, or home address. And once again, there will be a considerable likelihood of a failure to appear for court hearings, triggering an arrest warrant, and possible additional charge of failure to appear. He's by no means implying that the accused would be thumbing their nose at the court or a diversion program. More likely, because of their life situation, their failure to appear will be caused by a lack of communication or follow-up by his office in cases where they cannot reach or communicate with that individual. Even if the proposal were to eliminate the jail time provision, which the amendment does not, the imposition of a fine and subsequent failure to pay it could also result in a warrant and likely jail time. I think that's a pretty convincing analysis of what we have here, and I'll yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Harding, you're recognized.
Thanks. I'll address that last issue as long as it's fresh in the air. I'll note, too, that Mr. Riley's letter was written after the first, is that what you were going to say, Tim? After the first version of the proposed ordinance was introduced. Subsequent to that time was when we then introduced the diversion court. So, and I believe I'll let Councilmember Melton discuss some of that, because I think she had some personal conversations with Mr. Riley about that. So do you want to go ahead and I'll.
Yeah, I just wanted to correct because the diversion, so that process that Mr. Festerson just went through, that's not how diversion works. That's how your original ordinance would work. The initial citation, you don't have to get a court date if you're accepted into the diversion. And so part of that diversion would be an outreach going back to where that homeless person is. And that's what we can work out. Those are all things that are possible that we could do even with the police. If this is a homeless person, they can immediately be on the list for a potential diversion. And so what Mr. Festerson cited, that's incorrect. That's not how the diversion process works. And actually, when you're in diversion, you wouldn't have the public defender, because the public defender doesn't come into play while you're in diversion. It's only if you can't complete the diversion. And typically diversion programs are 18 months long. And so if we actually have these providers in this pilot program that are going to do what they say they're going to do, then in those 18 months, I would hope that they would be able to get them into a house, so into some kind of housing. And by the way, in diversion, sometimes you fail, especially in drug court. It doesn't mean that if you just don't get in right away, then you're out of diversion and you're in jail. As part of the diversion, they understand that people are going to fail. They're going to repeat. They're going to test positive for drug in drug court. That doesn't mean they necessarily get kicked out of diversion. It means we get other providers in there to figure out what the problem is. And when you're in the diversion program, most people that are homeless have other issues. They're not just homeless because they don't have enough money for housing. They're homeless because they have mental health issues. They may have drug issues. Part of that diversion program would help them get to those resources for the other issues that may be the core issue for why they're homeless. So that's where a good diversion program, which is what the Veterans Court does, which is what drug court does, that's what the diversion programs are for. So I just wanted to be clear that you wouldn't have a public defender while they're in diversion. They would have that 18 months to try and get all the help they needed and get all the resources they needed. So Mr. Riley's letter was written before diversion and never mentioned diversion because we didn't bring that up till after the letter. So I just wanted to correct procedurally how it would work.
And the context of when it was written and not follow up after with the amendment of the whole, which then introduced the problem solving court. So I'm glad I got that while it was fresh in the air. I think we're all familiar with the term dead man walking. And I think I know where I am right now with this proposed amendment to what I originally introduced, but I'm going to go forward anyway with my comments because I think it's really important. I want to take us back. 2 months ago was when I originally introduced this, and actually I'd been working on it for a lot longer than that because I think even President Begley had asked the law department to pass along maybe the original idea that I had on this some time ago. But so I introduced this 2 months ago, mostly to start a conversation, as I think a couple of people have said here, either today or in previous weeks. I knew that what I originally proposed was not going to be the final version of what would be considered. And I was very open to say that I was willing to work with people on that, to the point that the mayor's office asked me then to delay the process for a period of time to have those discussions, which I did. And I think I have been clear that I didn't get a lot of input from the mayor's office after that. They went off on their own path, which is certainly their prerogative. I was trying to work with them and at their request. And then when the threshold came out with their proposal, they had sent it to the council on a Friday afternoon. Didn't reference anything about working with the mayor's office. I thought it was just a proposal, unsolicited proposal that they had submitted. First, I then was notified that it wasn't that way. It was when a press alert came on the next Monday saying that they were going to talk about it at a press conference that afternoon, which is all fine again. But I listened to Threshold and what they had proposed that Tuesday. And that's when I went off and talked with others, talked with a number of other cities as well who have been experiencing the same issue, and came up with, and with the input of Councilmember Melton, came up with the idea to incorporate the problem-solving court in this. So we need to know too that a lot of this started with the Supreme Court of the Grant Pass versus Johnson, and it was very clear what was said there, that this is not criminalizing a status, it's criminalizing conduct. So the status of homelessness is not criminalized, it's the conduct that's being criminalized. And for the record, today, most of the people in these situations can be cited for, I asked the law department to give me a list. There's something like 14 different ordinance violations that most of the people in these encampments could be cited for today. So the idea that we're criminalizing homelessness is just a narrative. It's a fallacy. That's not exactly what's going on here. So after seeing an alarming increase in the amount of encampments around the city of Omaha, I thought it was an important issue to take up. And now that I think I know where Mr. Rowe's going to be today, I was going to ask him anyway because I kind of view him as kind of the maybe the official religious leader of our group here. I'm going to ask you a couple questions, Don. Am I heartless? I heard someone say yes, but I don't think so. Do I have a soul?
You do have a soul.
And do I care for others? Okay, thanks, Don, because I know you and I have had a lot of conversations about this. So, and I did hear someone say yes on one of those. So I do know some people think I am heartless and don't have a soul, and that I don't care about others. But that's why I'm here today, and that's why I introduced this, is because I do care about others. Not only do I care about the people that are in these situations, but I also care about the people who live around these situations. I did not include this in my ordinance, but there are other cities where you can actually get a property tax reduction based upon a devaluation of your property due to the proximity of a homeless encampment. I didn't include that in here, but that is something that some of the other cities have done. But I also want to point out, too, that this isn't just happening in one area of town. This is happening across the city and across the metropolitan area, really. For example, in some of my visits to some of these encampments over the last couple of months, there's a lady in North Omaha. Her house backs up to an alley, and she has a wooden fence. And it doesn't stop the people who are living in the alley from coming over her fence. And I'm sorry, some of this language is not going to be very comfortable for some, but I'm going to, in part, that's the reason I'm telling you. The people in the alley come over her fence, and they have performed sexual activities in a swing that she has that's just sitting outside of her window. Oh, and by the way, she doesn't have windows anymore because people are looking in her house. So she boarded up her windows. She's afraid to let her dog out for fear of what the dog might step on a needle or step on something or come across something. But this is the effect that person, she bought this house because it was the only thing she could afford, but she wanted to own a home. And this is the thing that she has to live with. And they've been setting fires there. The back of her fence is charred. There's an OPPD. I might tell you where this is for OPPD. There's an OPPD pole that's charred because of the result of this fire. There's a downtown. There's a property owner who put rock down on city property that abutted his apartment complex because the homeless encampments were getting to the point where he was losing renters, and people working for his company didn't feel, like that they were safe. We've had numerous reports of on the trail systems underneath our embankments. Another one that's at 72nd and Center. It's at, if you can kind of envision it, it's kind of at what would be the northeast corner of that intersection, and I'm sorry, northwest, and you go into this encampment. They're taking the trees that are in this area and cutting them down, city trees, cutting them down and using them for their firewood. I was also told before I got to the encampment that they had a satellite dish. Now, when I was there, I did not see the satellite dish, but if there's if they're going to those extremes to get their entertainment, I guess they probably have some other means that they could probably take care of some of their needs otherwise than living in an encampment. But when it comes down to this, the inhumanity I guess, that I've been accused of, I disagree with, because I think the inhumanity is to do nothing about this situation. So that is why I introduced the original ordinance. And as I said, that is what I was open-minded to, working with others to incorporate other things in there to make it a better ordinance. And that's how we came up with it. And to take it back, it's, I'll walk you through the process. So the process would be this. The encampment's reported, a police officer would then go to the encampment. They would notify the people in the encampment that they can't be there. But the first thing they would do is offer them the ability to get to a place of shelter or get some help that they would need. That's the first thing that would happen. He or she, officer, would also then notify them that they would have 24 hours to vacate the premises. And if they didn't, they would come back and cite them. Right now, we have, as I was talking about the criminalization or what the violations of city ordinances now and what this would do, the difference on this ordinance is it gives the ability for the city to clear out that encampment. We don't have that ability right now. And within those encampments, as I've said before, there's prostitution, there's sex trafficking, there's drug use, there's human squalor, there are crimes being committed. Heck, we had stabbings just in one of them not too long ago. So after that citation would be issued, before their court date, and that's the point where within this ordinance it says that they would also be given the opportunity, and the agencies that the city would be working with would know where these people were to go see if they could find them to give them the help they need or get them into a diversion program. That's what this ordinance does. If they don't do that, then yes, they're subject to that fine or that penalty, that court date, or the jail time. But it's no different than if you were in violation of any other city ordinance. You would be subject if you didn't comply or you didn't take care of it, or if you didn't go through, if you didn't cure it for whatever reason or whatever the court decided. If you didn't take care of that issue, then you're subject to that as well. So I don't think we're treating anyone any differently or any more inhumanely than we do the rest of our citizens, or what we require of the rest of our citizens. I want to address a couple other things that were said too. I'm glad Mr. Warren brought part of this up. I was going to have a minor amendment to this amendment of the whole. I don't think I'll introduce it because I think I know where we're going here. And this, I took this from the Sioux Falls, South Dakota, their encampment ordinance. It would have further defined on the property. This is when Mr. Warren was talking about the property and what to do with it. As it reads in what's proposed right now, it says that prior to removal, the personal property from the personal property in the encampments, that among other things, personal property shall mean any item reasonable, recognizable as belonging to a person and having apparent utility or monetary value. The next section says all personal property removed from the public encampment site, which is not returned, which is not retained, disposed of, or held as evidence shall be stored by the city for a minimum of 30 days, during which time it shall be reasonably available, and then on and on. So what I was going to add in too was that weapons, drugs, drug paraphernalia, items appearing to be stolen, and evidence of a crime may be retained as evidence with an alternative disposition to be determined. So I think that would have taken care of at least the issue that Mr. Warren raised about the retention or not retention of that property. The other one was on the arrest issue, and I specifically had a conversation with the city attorney, Mr. Kuzi, about this, and I need to read it because so the citation issuance would have trumped the OPD policy on arrest versus citation, and Mr. Warren told Mr. Kuzi told Mr. Warren the same thing some time ago. And despite that, OPD, at least in the past, has allowed homeless people to use the Francis House as their address. So again, that would have taken care of that issue as well too. But so the bottom line is this. One other thing, I guess. I almost forgot this one. I found it interesting that the city of Omaha sent to CenturyLink a letter, a violation of weed and litter ordinance, that they needed to clean up. I'm going to hold it up. No one's going to be able to see it, so I'll try to explain it. But there's an encampment on the sidewalk outside of a fenced area that CenturyLink has some property. It's on a public right-of-way. It's in a public right-of-way on the sidewalk. And the city sent them a letter. And if you look, this picture would show you on the other side of the fence, inside the fence at CenturyLink's property, it's well manicured and well maintained. But the city sent them a letter saying that you CenturyLink need to clean up the encampment that is on public ground. So we're apparently ceding our responsibilities to the private property owners. But so I've said this a number of times. I'm going to close with this, but this is a public safety issue. This is a public health issue, both for the people in the encampments and for the people that live around these areas. I don't want to see 6 months go by. I don't want to see 6 days go by. If your parent or your brother or your sister, any loved one or friend was in these situations, would you want them to remain in those situations for another extended period of time? I know I wouldn't. I'm trying to get this to be a win-win situation for all. I think Councilmember Melton said it very well. This is the humane thing to do. It helps the people get the help they deserve. It gets the help to the people who need it. It also addresses the public and safety issues for the people living around it as well, too.
Thank you. Councilmember Goodwin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll try to be brief, but I'm sitting here very offended. I'm offended that North Omaha would be evoked by my fellow council member to then go into very explicit and gross detail about what happens in encampments. We already deal with negative perceptions about our community. I don't think anybody here, it was said, I don't think anybody here is trying to be passive about the need to address this at all sides. But to sit here, Councilmember Harding, and wax eloquent, I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed. You know, when we first sat down for coffee, and I was debating on whether to say this, but I'd rather say it to your face than say it behind your back. When we sat down for coffee, and I started telling you about the challenges that I was looking at to work on in my district, which is not all of North Omaha, but the heart, you told me that it was depressing. It's what you said.
Please, we're not going to have any comments from the audience. Please,
and so
thank you.
For you to then go on and on about what happens in encampments, and you said, yeah, they happen all over, but then to evoke North Omaha, I just need to address that before the public today. We all know that this issue is urgent. We all know that it affects the entire community. and we are all here to solve it. And so, again, I just wanted to say that up front versus saying anything otherwise, that this is a city problem that we're all vested in trying to solve. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Harding, you're recognized.
Ms. Goodwin, with all due respect, and you did say that I said this was all over the city. I will walk through each and every one of these and tell you about some of the same things that are happening there. It was not meant to single out your area, your district, or a particular area of town. So I'm sorry that you took it that way. I know I said it. And I also said that the same things are happening in each and every one of these encampments of prostitution, sex trafficking, drug use, sexual activity. I'm sorry that you took it that way, because it certainly was not meant to say that. I did the same thing I was with Mr. Hug on Sunday, and we went to a couple different places where similar activities were happening. I pointed out one that was in my area of town. So I will say I'm offended that you took offense to that, I guess. But
Brinker, excuse me.
Hold on.
Please, people, if you're going to make outbursts, I'm going to have you removed. So please be respectful of the council. Thank you, Councilmember Harding.
Yeah, thank you. Let's not lose the focus of what we're talking about here. You and I can talk afterwards too. I don't know what your reference of what I said was depressing, but I would like to know what the context is on that. But you and I can talk about that later, because that's what I like to do, is talk about the issues with people. So as Charlie Kirk said, when the conversation stops, that's when the problems begin. So I would like to have that conversation with you, but in no way was I trying to single out an area of town to be derogatory just to that area of town.
Thank you, Councilmember Goodwin, you're recognized. Sorry, okay, we're shifting around. Councilmember Hug, you're recognized.
Thank you. Well, the easy thing to do today would be to sit here and not say anything, but I unfortunately can't do that. If we were moving forward today without the mayor's proposed plan, I would be voting for this. I'd be supporting it, and I'd be championing it for Mr. Harding. There's a time to talk, there's a time to take action. We are at that point. I think we're past that point of taking action. But I have all the confidence in the world in the mayor's efforts. If you look around the country and you see what's being proposed, it's exactly what's working in other parts of the country. We have a serious problem, but we don't have a problem that is serious in other cities. New Orleans, since 2019, has spent $216 million to fight homeless issues. And all they have done since 2023 is reduce their homelessness by 24%. They are looking at providing an additional 1,500 alternative housing options for the unhoused. So I think it's actions we need to take, and I can't say strongly enough how encouraged I am that the mayor had the courage to stand up and say, what we're doing isn't working. And in my opinion, what we're doing is not working. It hasn't worked, ever. And so as much as I'd love to support this and to try to do something, I think it's more prudent to let the mayor plan run its course, and we all champion behind that and do what we can do collectively to make that work. Mr. Warren, could I ask you to come back up, please?
Thomas Warren, Mayor's Office.
we have basically an outline. We don't have all the pieces on what the mayor is proposing to do, correct?
That's correct. We had asked for 30 days to finalize the plan.
But as we go down that 6-month road, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the organization the mayor's working with again?
Threshold, primarily in the continuum of care.
Oh, well, I'm going to bring you up next. If we were to get down that road and it was to come forward that having a diversion court would be a good idea as part of that plan, I would assume the mayor would support that.
Very likely, he would support a diversion program as a component of this plan.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Warren. And I'm going to invite you up, please, if I may, Mr. President. Thank you.
I'm Jane Gordon. I'm the Director of System Strategy at Threshold COC. Jason's out of town, so he asked me to sit in for him today.
Okay, well, I'm probably going to violate protocol here, but I'm going to ask you if you have any comments you want to make. No. No?
It's not public comment.
Did she give her Can we get your address as well?
My address is 20206 Cleveland Circle, Elkhorn.
Okay, the current plan, the outline.
Yes.
Is a aggressive collaborative effort bringing together all the nonprofit organizations that are serving the homelessness, bringing them all together and working together as one unit to try to provide services and to resolve the homeless issue in Omaha.
That is exactly right. We've had a couple meetings already. Chief Warren represented the plan pretty well, in my opinion. And I know the mayor is planning to meet with the shelter directors within the next couple weeks as well.
Okay, if you had to guess, how many beds are we short to address the homeless issue in Omaha? Is there a number?
I did not prepare remarks today. I don't know what the number is. I know that the annual PIT count is about 6,000 people. I know that that's over the course of the whole year. I know that we are short shelter beds, we're short permanent supportive housing beds, I know that we could use about 100 more units of permanent supportive housing and about 50 more units of rapid rehousing. I also know that we can do better with integrating our treatment and recovery programs. There are several different things on the table as far as how this is going to work out, but we want to work closely with our partners on that and get their proposals at the table. So I don't want to speak for the entire coalition at this point. We're still in the early planning stages.
Okay. In your efforts to develop a strategy and a plan, are you looking at other cities?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any cities specifically you're looking at, try to model after, or do you see any cities that are being successful?
I know Jason's talking to Kansas City quite a bit. And we have a couple of different consultants that we work with, both on the HUD side and then also the Coalition for Supportive Housing.
Okay. I believe, from my research, I believe the Salvation Army was very active in Maricopa County.
Okay.
Are you working with the Salvation Army in the Omaha area?
Yes, definitely. They're part of our community meetings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anything I can do, I'm happy to do whatever I can do to help you be successful. I want you to be successful. I want the plan to be successful.
Thank you.
I want the mayor to be successful. I want the city to be successful.
That's what I want to, as well. I would like to work with the mayor's office. I'd like to get this done. I know Jason wishes he could be here today to speak to all the concerns. So, thank you.
So, last thing, you heard what I asked Mr. Warren.
Yes.
As we move forward 2 months, 3 months, 6 months down the road, if we got to a point where collectively it was determined that a diversion court would be a valuable tool, I'm assuming you would support that?
I don't think we would take any option off the table as long as it provided services and options to individuals and didn't make their situation worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. I'll close on this. We each have spent a lot of time on this issue that's complex. When Mayor Ewing was elected, he recognized quickly in talking to several of us that what the city, prior to that, what we were doing wasn't working. Homeless camps are all over the city. They pop up and they move around, but what we were doing to address it, it just didn't work. And the approach that Mayor Ewing has taken, getting the subject matter experts together to try to deal with it in a different way, in a humane way, in a way that tries to help people that are beyond having housing. There's mental health challenges with some. There's addictive diseases that people are facing. So the mayor, I applaud him for the approach he's taken and the conversations we've had and the plan that he has before us today that he heard us and he wants to try something different. And I'm certainly going to afford him the time and the support to do all I can to help that as we work together on this. I also had a conversation with our great public defender that was mentioned here today, Thomas Riley. And while the plan that was amended of the whole, it is a step in the right, in the good, it's a good step forward, but it still doesn't take away the fact of there could be criminalization if people have a warrant out, if they don't make it to court, and all those things that happen. So that's why, in talking also with Jason at Threshold, I did a recent tour of the Open Door Mission. I'm going to go to the Stevens Center to really get a feel, and you can never learn enough on the different things. There's not a one-size-fits-all. And all these great organizations, they're trying to come together through the guidance and leadership of our mayor to do better as a city to address the problem that we have before us that we deal with. So I'll be opposing the amendment of the whole and looking forward to working with the mayor and his task force and Jason and everybody in our community that's out there listening, do what we can to help this in a positive direction so we can start helping people that have been long ignored. I see no further lights. We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson.
No.
Goodwin. Mr. President.
No.
Motion failed, 2-5.
Second. Do we need a motion and a second to deny?
Motion to deny.
Have a motion and I have a second for the motion and deny. Roll call.
Harding.
No.
Hug.
Yes.
Melton. Rowe. Festerson.
Yes.
Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-2. Item 63, a resolution to approve a settlement agreement for Jennifer Eiler versus City of Omaha in the amount of $250,000.
I will open the public hearing on item number 63. Are there any proponents here? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Got a motion. Can we get a second? Motion and a second. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 64, an ordinance vacating an east-west alley from 28th Street to 29th Street between R Street and Q Street. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval.
Public hearing is now open on item number 64. Are there any proponents here today? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item 65, an ordinance reestablishing the South Omaha Business Improvement District, BID number 6880.
Public hearing is open on item 65. Are there any proponents here today? Proponent?
My name is Magdalena Garcia. My address is 2615 Calvin Street in Bellevue, Nebraska. And actually, I checked off proponent. I'm not here for either side, either way. I just had to sign in. I actually have a question just for clarification. Are there any provisions or to address nonprofit 501c3 organizations that have property tax exemption with the BID?
Do we do that after, or do we do it now? Okay, yep. Mr. Endenbosch, is that a question you can answer for us, please?
Yes, Bernard Endenbosch, Deputy City Attorney. As is currently written, all properties assessed based on front footage, and there are no exemptions for not for exempt property. That is certainly something that the council could request as an amendment prior to the time this is adopted by the council.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents here today?
Hello. Good afternoon. My name is Karen Peshek. Address is 107 Bellevue Boulevard North, Bellevue, Nebraska. Business address is 4826 South 24th Street. I am a property owner, business owner, and employer in South 24th Street. I am here to support the approval of the BID for another 5 years. I am the volunteer coordinator for the BID. I help approve the contractors that we use to clean the street. And I want to tell you a little bit about what we do. We get approximately $25,000 budget every year. Most of the budget, about 95% of it, goes to paying one single contractor who cleans up trash every day for 3 or 4 hours a day. But our budget only allows us to do that for 9 months of the year. So for the other 3 months, we rely on donations. We apply for grants. The purpose is to get resources to do a year-round cleaning. We have been doing the 9-month cleaning since 2021 when the BID was first approved, and it has made a significant difference in our district. There's not a lot of trash running around. If you've been on South 24th Street, you know that it's kind of like a tunnel. So if you leave a lot of trash on the street, the wind comes and it just makes it, it goes everywhere. So the fact to have somebody there every day cleaning up makes a huge difference. I also want to say that the budget that we have as well, because it doesn't really go very long, we rely on partnerships. So I coordinate, put up my time personally to coordinate partnerships with Keeping Omaha Beautiful or other organizations to help us on this effort without costing more money to the BID. We do this happily as a private business owner and a stakeholder in the district. We also make donations to the BID. For example, this year, my business, Peshek Law, we bought a $6,000 utility vehicle that we use to water the plants in the street. We do that happily because we want to create an environment that is conducive to the success of the business on the street. And I appreciate the City Council on helping us with this effort. Just one more thing, because we had the BID, we were able to take advantage of a lighting grant that was available through the mayor's office, where all of the BIDs got some money to do some lighting improvements in the district. And we changed some of the lights that were there, that were kind of like construction grade, or I don't know how you call that, to like nicer looking lights, like fixtures on the street. So we are able to take advantage of those opportunities because we have the BID. We have the tools to collaborate with the City of Omaha and with other organizations. So thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents here for item 65?
Hello. Good afternoon. My name is Lucia Pedrosa. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Lucia Pedrosa Estrada. I reside at 3115 North 56th Street. It's on District 1, and Councilman Festerson is my representative. I'm here representing Peshek Law, but also myself as a resident. I've only been in Omaha for 14 years, but I know that South Omaha has been around for longer than that, over 100 years. Annexed in 1915 did a little research before. Like I said, I'm not from here, but I am interested in how long the district has been around. And I think it was established, if not again, I'm not sure if it had one before, but in 2021. So it's only been around for 5 years, going on 5 years. And I live in Benson, which is home to the Benson Improvement District, which has, I think I looked up when Benson was established, and that was in 1917, 2 years after South Omaha. And the Benson Improvement District has been around since 1977, I think. So, and not to, say that one area is better than another, I love them both. But today I'm here to ask for your support for the Business Improvement District in South Omaha because, South Omaha has been the home for economic development for over 100 years, like I said, through the stockyards and the meatpacking plants, and now the businesses that are still around. That's not only a benefit to our city, but also to our state and then the rest of the country. We have products that are imported from Omaha to the rest of the world. So as a resident of Benson, one of the things that attracted me to the neighborhood is being so close to a district that has a thriving economy and just the opportunity to be around with my family, just to be. And I think I know South Omaha offers the same, especially for me since I really connect with the culture. I know that I'm able to find, the best limes for the best prices there, the best tacos and the best pan dulce, and I know a lot of us enjoy that as well. But we can only keep doing that if we have the support from the city in the way of, supporting our maintenance, our cleanliness, our beautification projects, and the future. So today I'm asking you to just, think about the legacy that you're supporting through our past, the reality of our future, because a lot of businesses are being impacted, and what the opportunities that the future can bring. So thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents here today?
Go right ahead, young lady. I was thinking to myself.
Good afternoon. My name is Roxana. Address is 4129 Grant Street, 68111. I'm a volunteer with the South Omaha BID, specifically for various planting days that we have conducted. And one of the benefits of having the BID have its designation in South Omaha is that it opens up grant opportunities for us, which help fund our community outreaches like the planting day. So it's just a great opportunity for the community to come together, and the BID is a great vehicle for that. Thank you.
Roxana, can we get your last name as well?
Yeah, Roxana Corral.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents?
Yes, good afternoon, Omaha City Council. Donnie R. Johnson, the Johnson Question Foundation, and North Omaha Concerned Citizen Foundation. So dating back to the 70s, one of the things I've noticed about the
Johnny,
business...
can we get your address?
Yes, sir. 4928 North 52nd Street. And one of the things I've noticed about the business community locally and South Omaha, they don't utilize the Omaha Chamber of Commerce as much. For instance, by me being in Omaha Chamber of Commerce back in the 70s, my understanding that Waldorf Astoria now is $1,500 a night versus $50 per a suite. And Brandeis got us in there for $200 a night, so in the Omaha Chamber of Commerce. But that was back in the 70s, so I think they should. The City Council is a wonderful place, but I think the Omaha Chamber of Commerce is have much more to offer, and the United States Senate Chamber of Commerce, which I'm a member of both. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Oh, I beg your pardon. Councilmember Fesserson, you're recognized.
Thanks, Mr. Bagley. I just want to address briefly my support for business improvement districts. I think they're great tools throughout the city. I've always felt that way. I think the reason why we have this before us today is just it was an initial 5-year sunset, which is typical of new BIDs, by which they prove themselves to be renewed. And I think you have proven yourself to be renewed, so I look forward to supporting this next week. A conversation we had this morning that Mr. Hugg might want to engage in is that not only can a BID by ordinance remove tax-exempt entities from participating, that is actually pretty common in most BIDs throughout the city, so that can be done. The other thing I would say is it's also pretty common for BIDs to have a larger budget than we're seeing here today at the $30,000 range. So certainly supportive of whatever you've come to terms with your constituency there, but I would just note that $30,000 goes very quickly. When you talk about all the projects that BID typically wants to engage in and can do well, Benson was brought as an example, by the way, which has a budget of about $80,000 now. So just to give you some context there in case that's something you might want to revisit. But I see this as being a very important tool for all the positive things we are seeing in South Omaha. And with the Plaza de la Raza project coming, it'll be also important to the ultimate success of that project too. So thank you for your work.
Thank you. Councilmember Hug, you're recognized.
To answer your question, Councilmember Festerson, I spoke to the president of the BID today about that particular issue. And I'm optimistic we're going to resolve something that's amicable to everybody.
Thank you. Councilmember Goodwin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too, like Mr. Festerson and Councilmember Hug, very supportive. I'm sure the other council members are as well of BIDs. The North 24th Street Business Improvement District is an entity in which I helped to found streetscapes, litter control, facade improvement. They really spur economic development in some of our disinvested areas. I work very closely with Marco, who I believe often represents your group in the larger organizing and convening of our city BIDs. I believe now we have 9, Bernard, if I'm not mistaken. And so I'll definitely be supportive of this as well. How we handle nonprofits in our district, to answer the lady's question, is they're currently exempt. However, we ask them to contribute is voluntarily. It would be a donation based upon what would be their contribution. So there's a measure, and we've seen some success in that. So happy to talk with Councilmember Hug and or someone from your BID if that's the path you take, because you may want to consider that. Thank you.
Thank you. No further lights. Did I close it already? Okay.
Item 66, an ordinance to approve an agreement with Axon Enterprises, Inc. for drones and services for the Drone as First Responder program.
Public hearing is now open on item number 66. Are there any proponents? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item 67, an ordinance to accept and authorize disbursement from a grant award in the amount of $550,348 from the City of Omaha Police Foundation, Inc. to expand the Drone as First Responder program.
Public hearing is now open on item number 67. Are there any proponents here today? Seeing none, are there, proponents? No. Are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item 68, an ordinance to accept and authorize disbursement from the Highway Safety Program Grant Award in the amount of $110,000 to support the Project Nightlife Expansion Project.
I'll open the public hearing on item number 68. Are there any proponents? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item 69, an ordinance to accept and authorize disbursement in the amount of $313,837 from the City of Omaha Police Foundation, Inc. to provide partial funding for 2 full-time crime analysts.
Public hearing is open on item number 69. Are there any proponents? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item 70, an ordinance to accept and authorize disbursement from the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant Program in the amount of $461,600.
Public hearing is now open on item number 70. Proponents.
Yes, Donnie R. Johnson, the Johnson Equestrian Foundation, and North Omaha Concerned Citizen Foundation, 4928 North 52nd Street. I'm supporting this, but we also want you folks, and Mr. Begley, I understand you have access to OPPD. We're going to be buying more and more electrical cars in North Omaha, and we want you to folks to put some money to put these houses so they can be wired, the older houses, so we can plug in our new cars. And then when Mrs. Butler take over the West Road Mall, she can also have her own house wired to this grant. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents? Seeing none, are there any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Pete, you're recognized. I'm sorry. I keep trying to miss you today.
Thanks, Mr. President. Just a brief comment on this. This is an item I support on public hearing today. It is a grant we've already received quite some time ago from the Department of Energy, about $462,000 that now the mayor's office is moving towards implementation with. It would accept the Department of Energy funds to adopt some new bike share stations and create an electric vehicle roadmap for our city that would then be something we could pursue as we try to build out that infrastructure for electric vehicle users. But then I think most significantly, works with United Way on a workforce program for those that are underskilled or need upskilling to address the shortage of what would be solar panel installation throughout the city, and also weatherization programs that we know can make a difference, can save people money on their electric bills, while also being an effective aspect of our climate action plan. So I know there was a request this morning to see the breakdown of these funds, and I'd like to see that too, and hopefully we'll have that before next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Non-action items, items 71 through 111, do not require public hearing or city council consideration at this meeting, but will be placed on a future agenda for public hearing and/or vote. The reason for non-action is noted after the item on the agenda, as well as the date the item is expected to appear on an agenda for consideration.
Motion and a second to adjourn. Roll call.
Harding.
Yes.
Hug. Hug. Hug.
Hug.
Yes. Melton. Rowe. Festerson. Festerson.
Pete, do you want to adjourn?
Goodwin. Mr. President.
Aye.
Motion passed 7-0. Meeting is adjourned at 3:51.